Hi, I'm Lowe again, and sorry the video is a little dark. We're getting some inclement weather here in North Carolina. It's rainy and it's cloudy and it's on the cold side out there. So I've got all the light I can possibly get running happening here. And today I've had a bunch of questions since my last AX2 video. And so I thought that I would go back and take y'all through some of the programmability on it and answer a few more questions in depth on it. The signal chain today is really simple. It's going to be my Michael Dulce BL650. See what the BL stands for? Brian Lowe on headstock. You like that? I do. With 3 P90s and some custom electronics in it. You can see my other videos for the custom electronic stuff, but we'll be able to get tele sounds, strat sounds, pseudo Gibson sounds out of the guitar today. The AX2 and a cable. So that being said, the first thing I want to do is take everyone through a guided tour on some of the amps that are on here. I did this very briefly in the other video, and this time I'll spend a little more time. The first amp that we've got on here is the Roland JC120, which, you know, if everybody remembers those amps, it was a great sounding, really clean amp in the 80s. And that's with the chorus on it. Let's take the chorus off. Put a little verb on there. Here's your chorus again. Really great amp. Was great for the kind of stuff. You know, God, lots of people had them, and a lot of bands still rely on the 120 for their clean sounds on stage. They may be running rectifiers, but for the dirty stuff, but they switch over to the Roland JC120 for a really clean sound because it is great clean sound. Another amp that's in here is the wide panel deluxe, the 52 deluxe. And I've had some experience with one of these amps. A buddy of mine in Texas owns a real 56, and I can tell you that this is pretty darn close to what the real deluxe sounds like. It's a great amp. I don't have a slide down here, but it's great for I like to thank Bic for my guitar slides. Then you go up another bank and you're into the Fender Bassman, which was modeled off of a 59 Bassman. And the nice thing about the Line 6 amps is that when you want it to be really clean, it can clean up, or you can add grit onto the amp, just like, you know, the amp would have if you drove it really hard just by using your drive knob right here. Another nice thing is that when you pull up an amp in there, it'll pull up a period correct cabinet. So when I'm running the Bassman model, it's running through 410s that were also modeled in as well. Going and keeping in the Fender line of things, this is a here we have your Fender Deluxe Reverb. Put a little more rear pickup in there, which is a mainstay for blues and country, guys. A lot of cats love that. Now, as we all know, the Deluxe Reverb did not have a mid-range control. Well, I can now go up here and add mids. And it would simulate what a sound guy would do putting the mids on at the board. Staying in that Fender category, we've also got the twin reverb. Which is really nice because if I really want to get silly with it, I can also add the tremolo to it, just like on the old twins and the old deluxes. Really pretty sound. My next bank up is going to give me the Matchless. And these are modeled off of a Matchless Chieftain. Later on in the Veta, they actually put the DC-30 in, which was kind of more of the popular amp that Matchless did. But this is the Matchless. That's a Matchless that's driven a little bit. And here's your clean Matchless sound. Then we go up to bank 6, and we've got a couple of different amps in there. This is our Vox bank. So the first one is the old AC-15. I can, of course, clean that up just by pulling my drive control down. And of course, you've got your Vox AC-30 top boost. What I really like about the Vox AC-15 or 30 top boost is the fact that when you hit it, you can drive the amp just like you can the Vox, which is nice about the AX2. We go up another bank, and we get into the Marshall JTM 45 series, the old Clapton Blues Breaker amp. And of course, the next bank up is the Plexi. Everybody knows the Plexi. Page, Townsend, Hendrix, anyone who's ever played a Marshall and been in rock music at some point has played a Plexi, and that's more what your Plexi sounds like if you were to drive it. And now this is what your Plexi would sound like when you grab your drive control and pull it up. Almost like putting a variac on it to a degree, just driving it, diming it to 10 on all the controls. For your Jimmy Page kind of stuff. Take it up one more to the Marshall JCM 800, the amp from the 80s, baby. Everybody used them. Drop it down and this, of course, is the JCM 800 clean. Go up to number 10, and that's going to give us our Mesa Boogie Mark II C+. Throw it on your neck pickup. great boogie tones. Now I took the liberty of going ahead and programming one up that had a little more fairy dust on it. I showed this off in the last video, but everybody that knows me knows I'm a huge Steve Lukather fan. And lots of fun with that. The next bank up is your rectifier boogie. Great for the modern, harder stuff now. Bank 12 is all about the Soldano SLO 100. Then 13, you've got your Dumble, and you've got your Buddha. Both very expensive hand-built amps that can be tough to kind of find. But the AX2 has them in them. You also, on the AX2, if you've got the floorboard, have a volume pedal and a wah pedal. And the ability to switch all of your patches and to either go in and switch amps and presets that you've done, or to go into those presets and turn effects off and on, which is really cool. I want to take some people through the programmability of this amp and how easy it actually is. Now, the first thing, and I say this about anything having to do with digital modeling, because you've got a processor like a Vox or a Line 6 or any of the other number of digital modeling guys that are out there these days, having it's half the battle. Knowing how to use it and why you use it. Why do I want to pull up a Marshall Plexi as opposed to a JTM45, or why do I want to use a Deluxe as opposed to a Vox AC30, and what will this guitar sound like with this amp? Knowing what amps sound like and how they act and why they act the way they do is huge for actually effectively using modeling. But real quick, I want to show you how quick and easy it is to program up a sound here. So what we're doing is we're starting with the Line 6 version of the Twin Reverb. So that's what we've got. But now I like a little compression on it, so I'll go back here, and each one of these keys right here are dual function keys. So if I hit it once, it'll take me to the first level of effects. If I hit it twice, it'll take me to the second effects. So the first thing I want to do is put on a compressor. So I choose my compression type, and I normally jack it up to about 3. And I'm sitting right in front of the amp, so it might be a little noisier. But as you can hear, I've just put a little more compression on there. And because we've got the noise happening like we do, I'm going to go up to the noise gate, which is above that. I'm going to turn the noise gate on. I'm going to go to my hum canceller. And if you'll notice, the hum canceller killed my noise. It sends a 60 cycle hum back through the line to counteract any 60 cycle coming out of the wall, which is really cool. So we've got our compression added to it. Now let's go in and that's a little dark sounding for what I like, so I'm going to go back down. I'm going to pull my treble up a little bit. Kind of happy with that. Pull my mids in just a little bit. And I really like chorus. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to the chorus tab, and as you can see, it already has a tremolo programmed into it because it is a Fender amp. I'm going to go turn that tremolo off. Now I'm going to go down to my chorus line. I'm going to choose my chorus type, which I always like a really nice Gotta love P90s on a hollow body, don't you? So we're going to choose number 1, which takes us into our chorus. We're going to choose our chorus speed right here. And our chorus depth. And our feedback on our chorus, and then the shape of the chorus. And then I'll go over here and I'll turn it up. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit, and this back just a hair bit. And then we're going to save that, but we're going to save it with the chorus turned off. Hit it once, hit it twice. And now we've got our twin reverb. And if we want to, we can throw some chorus and some delay in there. That's just how easy it is to program the amp, which is a great thing about the amplifier. I've used this amp, God, for 9 years after I left Line 6. And I started using the amp in '99. And for a non-tube amp, it's probably my favorite amplifier in the whole world. I've had many compliments on the tone I've gotten, and for you guys who actually like digital modeling but take a lot of flack from the guys who are straight tube based guys, just to remind them that once you've put a Shure 57 or Sennheiser 609 in front of the amp, which is a solid state microphone, and send it to the board, which 9 times out of 10, unless somebody's got a lot of money and carrying Allen Heath, is a solid state board, going through what are probably solid state amplifiers, power amps, to feed the mains and the monitors, where'd your tube signal go? So to 99.9% of the people out there, they're not going to be able to tell that you are not using a tube amp. And just having the versatility of being able to switch all those different sounds to go from doing, you know, a Brian May thing to Boston, to Vince Gill, you know, to dropping down to, you know, David Gilmour stuff. U2, The Edge. You know, having everything built into the amp and being able to control it with one floorboard at your gig saves a lot of time for setup. It's got a built-in tuner. It's just a great amp, well-built amp. They're going for very cheap on eBay now. And I'm in love with the amp. And if I ever use anything that's not tubes on stage, it's always going to be a Line 6. It also has a very convenient direct out jack that I have used to record through now, and sounds as good as the Pod XT or the Pod XT Live or any of that stuff. Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email here on YouTube. And if there's anything else you'd like to know about the amps or any of the Michael Dulce guitars, feel free to hit me up. I'm Brian Lowe, and this has been the Line 6 AX2. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.